Hey, good morning everybody. I'm out in the pump house. I have some plants that I just brought in here. I brought these petunias in here from the greenhouse to try and get a little bit of growth on them because I want to start taking cuttings. And then I just moved these guys in. These are canna lilies. It's supposed to get down to 12 degrees. 12 degrees with a high of 28, 26, something like that. So that's a little cold for the greenhouse. We don't typically get those temperatures. We might get a one day of 15, but we're supposed to get like a week of super cold, sub-freezing temperatures, and it's not supposed to get above freezing for a week. And here I have a begonia. I'm gonna try and put some roots on there. I did 3 of them yesterday. There's 3 little tiny stems there with 1 leaf on it, and so we're gonna try some in just perlite. I did one right here about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was even longer than that. Maybe it was like 3 weeks ago, but that one has been sitting in the perlite. Nothing else, just perlite. And it's still green, so I think I might be onto something of just straight perlite. I'm gonna give it a try. I've got some more pots here, and I'm gonna set up and start taking some of these begonia cuttings, some leaf begonia cutting. I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of perlite. I'm gonna fill these up. Perlite is, I think it's like a volcanic rock that's very, very light. It feels a lot like styrofoam, and it's pretty lightweight stuff. Should run, liquid should run right through this. Yeah, it's running out. It's all right. It will water down. Okay, I have my rooting hormone, just powdered rooting hormone. What I'm going to do, pour a little bit in the cup there, in the lid. Okay, and I'll grab my begonia, and I'm just going to come in here and take, I'm going to take leaf cuttings off of this. Well, they'll have a stem on it, but here is, it's just a yellow, called Sunset, yellow begonia. I'd like enough to put in a pot. This one has a flower that's starting. So if I take this top off right here, down to this, get rid of that, down to this node right here, I should be able to get 1, 2, at least 3 in here. So I'm going to try that. Right underneath this stem right here. So what I'm going to do, oh, there's 4 leaves, so that's cool. So I'm going to splice that right down and then I'm going to trim off a lot of the leaf, because I'm only spraying these down. So there's my leaf. I've got this angle here. Oh, you see that little guy right there? That is the start of a flower. I don't want that. Get rid of that. Okay. So into my hormone. And you just want it dusted. It's stuck pretty well because it's pretty wet. The inside of the begonia itself is pretty wet. Okay, here is my little dibber, and I am just going to try and force a little hole and straight down in. Okay, there's one. Now we'll turn that little guy around, try and get 3 in here, or maybe just 2. Maybe I'll just do 2 in this one and 2 in the other. Okay, so there's 1. I got 3 more. We're gonna go right here, right down the middle. Okay. That one looks good. I'm going to cut a lot of this leaf off. Shake it off. And down into the... Let me get to it again. Down into the perlite. Okay. 2 of those. I do have a heat mat right here. This is a heat mat, so it's sitting at about 74 degrees in the heat mat, which is kind of nice. It keeps, it really kind of promotes the root growth a lot faster than with no heat. Okay, so same thing again. I'm just going to splice this down the middle. Separate those off, and then I'll cut this off. Try and reduce the amount right into my... Try and cover up all the cut spot. That's what I'm doing, just putting hormone on all the cut areas. Alright. One more. This one has a flower coming on. We'll break that one off. And it's got this other leaf that's pretty small. I'm going to cut that leaf off of there. Try and get the flower off of there also. There we go. Now I'll reduce this leaf down. Okay. And hormone. Oops, wrong one. And down into the perlite. Alright. So I did this one about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I'm going to dump this perlite out. See if you guys can see this. Get down into here and see if we have any roots. Oh, look at there. Look at this. Let me wash that off. Real quick like. Look at those roots. Nice. Look at this guy's coming out right here on this, out of that joint. But it came right out of the bottom of the base. And it did have a little slant on it. So these roots are coming out all the way along that slanted area. And I got a new little shoot coming out here. And one more coming out there. So that's kind of nice. Alright, I'm going to repot that into some soil mixture. Now, this one is still going to go, because it's pretty tender still. And it is winter in the pump house. So, there you go. I'll fill him up with a little perlite around the base. Alright. Now I'll water him in. So, that perlite is working pretty well for rooting. I like it. Kind of liking that perlite. Alright, now I wanted to show you this. I started these 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And these are petunias. Let me find the variety of petunia. This was this is a Supertunia Priscilla. Priscilla. It's kind of a purple color. But I did these 2 weeks ago. I'll pop these out of here. Show you the roots. Look at the root ball, or the roots coming through here. I just watered this, so it's kind of wet. But these, there's about 6 of them in here. There's one. Here's one. No roots on that one. Roots on that one, just barely. A little bit. Look at the root growth in here. It's pretty good. It's pretty fantastic. Pretty easy. This has some sand in it, some compost, a whole bunch of stuff in this mixture. But I am going to pot these up into little 4-inch pots here and put them on the heat. All right. Okay. So this one was the one that had 6 in it. And I took some out. Left 1 in there. There's 2 in here. Those will get watered in. 1 in this one. And 2 somewhere else. Can't remember where to do the other 2. Oh, there they are, back in there. Alright. Lemon tree's doing pretty well here. You get a little bit. Flower coming on that one over there. Throw a little bit there. Lemon tree right there. There's another 6 petunias. Another 4 petunias. I just did these yesterday. So they don't really need any water because it's moist enough already. And these guys I just did. We moistened those already. Alright. That's it for today. I hope you guys have a good Christmas. We're a couple days away from Christmas now. And yeah. I want to get these things going because it could take a few weeks for these things to start to root. Could take up to 6 weeks, and then pot them on and get them ready to go into baskets and then hanging up in the greenhouse starting in late February, March, if the weather isn't going to be super freezing cold. I mean, if it's just freezing in the greenhouse, they're fine. I can put petunias out there in the greenhouse. They do fine at 30 degrees, 30, 32, 40. 50 degrees in the middle of the day, but when it's 12 degrees 12 degrees that's a hard sell for petunias. So yeah, I still have quite a few out there in the greenhouse on. I might just leave them, see how they do. Alright, you guys have a good Christmas.